Okay. Uh, hello. This is my living room. You are you, and this is what else is there. I'm Creighton. Um, so I do this every episode, but um, not to date myself, but this is a current state update kind of video. Um, excuse me. Um, Speaking of kind of dating myself, when it comes to like where we are in real life timeline with where these are releasing. Um, I believe this is episode 9. Um, I don't know, but episode 4 hasn't come out yet, uh, and so uh, if you have seen episode 4, like episode 4 hasn't come out yet for me, but for you guys, it will have come out several weeks ago. And if you're still watching after episode 4, I applaud you. And if you watched episode 4, I heavily applaud you. I just want to kind of talk a little bit more. That's why it's this kind of setup. I actually really like this vibe, this setup that I'm going with right here. Feels very homey. Feels really like, I don't know. As you can tell, I'm very relaxed. I'm in my sweatpants. Got my thick Nike socks on. Got a big T-shirt. And I have my Keeping It Real Father's Day hat on. I wanted to do another current state kind of update video because I think these are exactly what this series, this podcast is about. Like this is into the root of it, like this is what it is. Um I want to talk about how scared I was and still am. How scared I was recording episode 4 and how scared I am knowing that it'll come out in a week because I am fine saying things to you guys and to just people about how I'm doing because and what I've been through and what I'm going through because like I have confidence in the fact that like the Lord has redeemed me and the Lord loves me, and I am His son, and so uh, I don't exactly fear those truths, if that makes sense. But I mean, I still struggle with the reality of some of the stuff that exist. And so like it's just the most vulnerable I've ever been on such a public platform where also I really hope you guys can't hear my washing machine going on. I'm gonna do my best to not. I probably could have waited till the cycle was done, but like these are kind of like a spur of the moment thing most of the time. I've only ever planned out like one of them time wise. Normally, like whenever I feel like led to do it, I do it, and that makes the most sense to me for what I want this to be. If I want it to be organic, then I have to have the urge to do them organically. Um, Now, obviously, I in theory have deadlines, but like whenever you guys hear me say like I've been working on this project for months or weeks, I mean because like it honestly took me forever to record several episodes because like it took me months to record. I think 5 of the episodes because I knew I wanted to start in January, but I knew I wanted to start posting them in January, but I started recording in like October or September, and I only recorded like 6. I don't know. I recorded several, and so like I've been wanting to say, I want to talk about episode 4 a little bit, and then I want to go into like how I'm doing now. Um, Episode 4, I I looked rough. I obviously had some tears in my eyes. I was talking about things. I don't know. I sounded very down, And the only reason why I felt so confident recording that and saying things like that and just being so vulnerable is because that's what I have a passion for with this project. Like that is the essence of what I'm going for. It's real and it's raw and it's not pretty at all. Like it sucks. And episode 4 was one of those things where I remember being like, I'm not feeling well. I'm not doing well. Let me talk about it. And so I did. And that's what episode 4 was. I was just talking about it. And I don't know. It's always scary to go into those situations to where it's like, all right, you have to be real. You have to lay it all out there. And that's because like there's so much weakness in being in turning on a camera and setting up. Like, what do you guys think that I think about right before I start all of these? Also, you're gonna see me switch my legs over and over again. Like, before I start each one of these, like setting up the camera and the microphone and like my laptop and stuff, it's like it's extremely stressful because like it's a really quick process, but the process isn't what's stressful. It's just like mentally, I feel very relaxed whenever I get going. But before I start it, like I there's a lot of pressure on me to, there's a lot of inward pressure for me to not lead people astray and to feel confident in what I'm saying and what I want to say and how I'm. Now, obviously, this podcast is pretty informal, and like I have thoughts and stuff going into the episode and stuff because I do write stuff, but I write points and and I have like sentences within it that I know that I'm gonna say, but I don't put a lot of like they aren't super formal because the whole point of this is that like I want to talk about my connection to the things, like to the topics. So like we talked about episode that just came out, Simple, episode 3, Simple. And then episode 2 was Regret, and episode 1 was Intentionality. Regret, I don't know, I felt like the episodes were also really sad. And so I've been trying really hard to not necessarily go away from those topics, because I think the sad topics are like the ones that most churches kind of skip over. But like, I have slowly started working on a little bit more upbeat ones because I didn't want this to just be like I don't know. I don't want people to walk away from it or to like, I also don't want to walk away from it and be like, man, that was just a tough one to swallow. I want them to be real and I want them to be like, I don't want this to be a prosperity thing where it's like, everything's great, guys. Don't worry about it. Just give it to God and let it go, which I just talked about that with Nick. I want this to be a walk with God. Like, give it to God and walk with Him through it and understand that, like, these things are real and these feelings that you have are valid. But don't let them control you. Like, there's a challenge to it. And so one of my biggest problems is the fact that, like, I know that intentionality matters. I know that living a simple life matters. I know that having regrets are caused by our lack of foresight on our human capacity, and that regret isn't necessarily a bad thing, and it doesn't have to be, and it can lead to beautiful things. But like I'm still sad. Like there's still things that I have to do. And so, I don't know. Episode 4 was hard, and it is hard, but I'm really glad that I did it. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and can appreciate what it is. Also, like as much as this is one of those projects where I'm pretty set in how I want it done, I also want like input. And so like there's a comment section on YouTube. There's also like a poll at the bottom of the Spotify. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube because maybe you don't have Spotify or something and you can't listen to it there, it's on like every podcasting source. Like it's on like Google Podcasts. It's on like everything. It's on Apple Podcasts. Also, I'm in a chair right now. Like this is kind of an awkward setup, but like I really like the look of it and I like the feel of it because like I feel like the background isn't as bland as it normally is right now. I think I'm doing okay. Do you guys know I'm definitely doing better emotionally. I've definitely tripped up the past couple days with tripped up's an understatement. I've definitely fallen the past couple days to a lot mentally, not in a negative way. Well, yes, in a negative way, but like I feel good. I feel like I can tell that I'm working on something. I've been trapped in my apartment. I've been predominantly in my apartment for the past several days now. And that's caused me to have some time to reflect and some time to think. And that can be extremely helpful. And some people say, well, that's extremely dangerous. Yeah, dude. Thinking about stuff is hard. It is mentally tiring. But you should do it. You should really sit down and think through your crap. I talk in episode 7 with Nick. I talked about intellectualizing pain. Hey, that's not it's not great. Like it's not a bad thing. It's a great first step. Intellectualizing pain essentially means that like for me, I intellectualize my pain, which means that I have grown accustomed to simply if I get hurt, I'm able to say I shouldn't be hurt because these are the reasons why. And in my brain, yes, I know that I shouldn't be upset, I shouldn't be hurt. But in my heart, like emotion-wise, I get really upset still. Because you're allowed to be upset. You are fully allowed to be upset. And no one should, look, if you're upset, you're upset. Emotionally, yes. You can still recognize the fact that you shouldn't be upset and still be upset. But there are practices past that kind of help you like ease down when it comes to your like outrage or your sadness or whatever position that thing puts you in. But I think I'm doing okay. These episodes are a lot shorter because they're more like milestones, I guess. They're probably not going to be as frequent as these two were. Like these two are pretty close together. But I definitely do think that I'm going to like they're definitely going to be further apart. The reason I really did this one is because I felt it. Like I really felt the urge to do this one. And so that's important to me. Like I said before, that's extremely important to me. And that decides most of the time when and why I do the episodes. Have I been better at reading my Bible? No. Have I been better about praying? Then at that point, absolutely. Have I been better at recognizing God in my everyday life? Yeah, I'd say so. Am I perfect yet? No. No, to my surprise, doing slightly more than the minimum has not made me the perfect person yet. Really felt like I was sold a dream on that one. And that's okay. I think, look, hear me out. The idea of faith and remaining faithful is that we've all heard that faith is like, even if it's the size of a mustard seed, and that's beautiful and that's true. I think the real takeaway from that is like, faith is little things that we do throughout our day. It's a mindset. Obviously, I don't know if I mentioned it, but faith is an action word. Faith is a lifestyle. It is not like a belief. It is a belief system, but as much as it is a belief system, it's a lifestyle. Having faith in something is acting that way, not just thinking that way. It is thinking that way. Faith is a two-step thing. You have to think it, and then you have to do it. And so, um, faithfulness, having faith, faithfulness in the idea of like, I should, I should make these decisions daily. They're little things. I think the mustard seed thing is like it's a little thing, but there's a million mustard seeds every day. You know what I mean? And or maybe seven. I don't know. I don't know the number, but like there's several. There's several mustard seeds every day. And so that's kind of the approach mentally that I believe is the approach of living a lifestyle of faith. Like I don't think that's a brand new concept. Hey guys, you're not perfect in a day, and some days also you're not perfect ever. Hey guys, you don't make the right decisions constantly. Shocker. But maybe let's work towards it. Have you guys ever seen? I don't know why I'm asking a camera a question. It's not rhetorical. If you've ever seen Bo Burnham's Inside, the first time I watched Bo Burnham's Inside, if you've seen it, you'll get what I'm about to say. The first time I ever watched Bo Burnham's special Inside on Netflix, sound like an ad read. The first time I saw it, I bawled my eyes out, and that's funny because I was in a really bad spot mentally. It was really late at night, and my expectation going into it was, I want something to cheer me up and make me laugh. And I loved Bo Burnham, from like his earlier specials. Like I remember when they came out and I watched those, and like he was on YouTube when I was way younger. And so in my head, I was in a really bad spot mentally, and I really needed something to cheer me up. And I saw that, oh my gosh, Bo Burnham just released a new special. I read the little description, and I was like, oh, this sounds so funny. So I clicked it, and I got maybe 15 minutes in before it started bawling my eyes out. Excuse me. And does that not feel like 85% of the experiences that we have, where like 85 is such an odd number, but that's like a rough estimate in my head. I trust that number because that felt like my gut number. We go into something and we're like, this is going to be so awesome. This is going to cheer me up. You do something like worldly and you're like, this will cheer me up for the next little bit. And then you end up just absolutely devastated by the end of it because, hey, there's a God-sized hole in your chest, and you're trying to stuff it with, it's the round peg in the square hole kind of thing. Worldly stuff doesn't exactly fill that void, and I mean it does, but like temporarily. You know what I mean? Like you're picking it apart and putting it back together. And it's like, how do you get those cars in the mall? You know what I mean? Everyone's like, they just build it inside the mall. No, silly. They drive it into the mall. That made sense in my head. Don't worry. You can skip over that mentally if you'd like. But that's kind of like most of the experiences I think life is. I saw a quote today. And it was, what if this was the life that you begged for? Now, follow me down this train of thought. That quote is also associated with the idea that you died, went to the afterlife, and you went to God and you said, God, please give me one more chance. I didn't experience everything. And for some reason, God listened and decided that was the move. And could he do that? Absolutely. I don't really know. I don't know the big man's full agenda. You know what I mean? I know my sliver to what I'm on a need-to-know basis with the Lord. And he for sure reminds me of that. And so take the idea that you went to heaven, right? You died, you went to heaven. And you went, hey, God, please, you're begging God, please let me come back and experience a new life. Please let me experience. Let me give me one more go round. I didn't get to see the things, and so God's like, bet now you're someone new, and you end up living a mundane, which can be extremely beautiful. Simple life is beautiful, but why are we scared of breaking things and starting new and going places and seeing things, and maybe you lose stuff along the way, but why are we so worried? Why are we so worried about things why are we so attached to things that are meant for us temporarily? Why would I care more about my phone than I would about seeing like Mount Kilimanjaro? And in the moment, I feel like all of you were like, that's such a dumb, of course I'd rather see Kilimanjaro than look at my phone. But like on a random Tuesday, no, you wouldn't. Like if I told you right now, you got to drop everything, but I'll pay for us to go to Mount Fuji. I'm really stuck on the mountains right now, Mount Fuji. I have a feeling 99% of people I said that to would be like, no, I can't, I have work or I have class. Hey, bro, it's all temporary. I want to see creation. Um, and that has burned me from time to time. But a lot of times I look at it and I go, my experiences are worth way more than my value, like than my valuables in my life. I drove to Connecticut on a 5-day notice and got to see New York and got to go to Connecticut and got to see beautiful things, meet beautiful people. And that's a memory that I love. I absolutely adore that. And I'm so grateful that I did that because I am so glad that I looked at that opportunity and said yes. Because I got to experience something. I crave experiences and I crave nature and I want to be outside and I want to be with others outside. And sometimes I want to be alone outside so bad in beautiful places. I watched a video of these guys called the Outside Achievers. They're really good. The cinematography, the narration, the just the overall quality of production that these guys do. I mean, it is insane. And they do backpacking predominantly, hiking and backpacking. And I mean, I was watching one of their videos. And I just cried at something I saw on a screen, dude. I didn't even see it live, and I cried. I was thinking about how beautiful it would be the moment I saw it. Like I turn the corner and I get to see this view, and I just lose it because there's no way I wouldn't. Game plan is to go backpacking in March to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park with a bunch of Chi Alpha folk, students, of course, and I watched their video. That I'm stealing their trail for the video, and I'm so excited. I think I'll cry half the views on this trip, if not all the views on this trip. Just being with people who love the Lord, seeing how beautiful the world is in such a it's so close. The Smoky Mountains are so close, dude. It's just not. It's not. It doesn't feel fair to ourselves to ignore what we have the opportunity to be around. Why is our life work? We are so stuck in this. I have so many like hippie traits. We're so stuck in the cycle of work. Work, we sleep, we work, we eat, we sleep. We work, we eat, we sleep. Like, and it's all the time. I don't really work that much. Most of the things I work on at this point in my life are passion projects or just fun. And I'm extremely lucky to be in this position, extremely blessed, and it is a gift from the Lord. But with that being said, like, I feel as I've seen so much in the past 3 years that I've had the opportunity to kind of be in this lifestyle. But I have school, I have church, I have responsibilities at school, I have responsibilities at church, I have responsibilities at work, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. I we all get so tied in to things that we truly don't care about. The only thing that I care about in my life right now, out of those three, is the church. I don't care about school, and I really don't care about work all that much either. Um, the only reason that I care about school in the slightest is because of the connections I have with some of the most beautiful, fun, loving, caring, uh, and just genuine people that I've been lucky enough to meet, and all the experiences I have with them. Outside of that, college has been a weird gap in my life where I've had the worst and the best days of my life within this time frame. And I would say 0% of them have to do with college. Have to do with my college experience in general, like my classes or stuff. You know what I mean? Like college just feels like something I do. Um, and in theory, uh, everything is just something that we do, because our identity is in Jesus. It's in God, and so nothing that we're actively participating in is who we are, but it's things that we do. But who we are is a son or a daughter of God. Who we are is followers of Christ. Um, and so I think that's what that mindset in particular is what brought me to this point, I believe, where it's like what I do doesn't what I do doesn't define me, um, but who I am defines my lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't a Christian, I do believe that my lifestyle would be a little different. I would care. I mean, obviously, I would care about different things. I would feel convictions about different things. But since I am a Christian, like my lifestyle is different. Uh, what you do doesn't make you who you are, but who you are makes you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that feels really good, dude. That could go on a Pinterest board. Um, I don't know. I want to see things. I have struggled for the past several years in particular, and probably a lot of is just environments that I've been in, home life, uh, relationships with people, with significant others, with whatever, whomever, whoever, however you say it. And what I've struggled with is that I constantly want to run away. And I found that it really has nothing to do with my responsibilities, but it has everything to do with I want to travel so badly, and I want to run. I want to be wild, like I want to run wild and go see things and experience God in the world and just see what all He's done and where He's done it. And I think that's really good. I also think that it has caused me to miss some of the most beautiful things that God has done in my life and like in the others around me because I'm so focused on the big picture that I forget the little things that happen sometime. And so, and I think there's people that are vice versa. Like I think some people are so zoomed in on their life that they forget that there are other things that do exist. Um, Christianity is kind of it. Whew, hold on now. I think in general, Christianity, church wise, is extremely linear, and I don't believe God is linear. Um, I definitely do think that there is like black and white. Like there that like in general, like things are black and white. Um, but that doesn't equal linear. I think it's like when you talk about like some things are just wrong. Like some things are just objectively bad. Murder is wrong, right? But like, and that is a black and white thing. Like, there's no gray area in that. Like, murder's wrong in any form. Um, but there's so many like, there are things that have. This is kind of what I was talking about with the whole Kanye thing with his worship albums. If Kanye would have stayed the path, really fought out his spiritual warfare, and really just kept his head on straight, and had a great support group around him and stuff, like if he would have found a way to make it through, he could have been the greatest Christian artist uh, of our generation, maybe of all time. Um, and some people just have the idea that because he has had other music that has no words and have inappropriate everything in it, that he would be automatically disqualified from being a Christian artist. And if that is not the opposite of the gospel, then I don't know what is. Who am I to say that Kanye West is not saved? Is not working through it with the Lord? Sounds arrogant. It also sounds ignorant. But I don't even think that's an opinion. I think that's a fact. People who will discredit worship music because, like, alternative worship, like, I think you can play some, let me clarify, some. There are some that do. And my argument has always been like there's a lot of secular songs that I fully believe could have been worship songs if a worship artist, Christian artist, worship artist, were to write them and publish them. And that's one of those things where I'm talking about, like, I don't think it's extremely linear. We're like, it's too, people are too narrow minded. Narrow may be the path into heaven, but narrow minded is full of ignorance. Um, and it's just we as Christians struggle with preconceived notions of why do we feel as though we can tell someone they're not saved? Uh, Let me rephrase that. Why do we feel as though we can tell someone that we don't know that they're not saved? Um, do I think when Kanye was at the height of his gospel albums that he was a perfect Christian? Absolutely not. Do I know that? No. That's just based off videos I've seen of him, like, talking and stuff. Like, I don't think he's checking all the boxes, but like, who is? Um, and I hate when people are like, yeah, but I'm a better person than that guy. Hey, dude, congrats. You know what I mean? Take that with you to heaven, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But I don't know. I don't think he didn't check all the boxes, but like, I think he was trying, and I think Kanye did a lot for the faith, and no one's really gonna. I don't think anyone gives him his flowers for that. Uh, so it's, we decided as a whole, I guess, that we were going to taunt the guy who was obviously struggling with mental illness and diseases, and instead of being like, this guy needs help, we were like, man, this guy's so funny, haha. And so we did that. So good job, guys. We did really good. That's awesome, man. Another soul just turned away. But no, no. I get it, whatever. I get heated about this. I get real frustrated about stuff like this sometimes. Um, to tie this up in a bow, this is more of one of those getting to know me kind of videos. Uh, I love you guys. man, I think about this podcast all the time, every day, several times a day. I sit and think about this, or I work and I think about this. I am so grateful for the people who are willing to sit and watch and listen and take in and allow me the space to kind of think through what has been festering in my mind. Um, Plus, part of it is like I just want you guys to know like you're loved. Uh, there's not much else in the world like humans. We were born to receive and to give love, um, as well as like follow Jesus. The Great Commission and stuff. But like on like a super basic stripped down level, I fully believe we were born to give and receive love. And um, I hope that we can all just work at getting better at receiving love or giving love, because like I feel like I give love really well and I struggle with receiving love. But man, I think it's important to me for if you're watching this to take away the fact that like I may not know you very well, and yet I do love you because you are a child of God. And there are people who have wronged me, and there are people who I've wronged, and um, I pray that they truly forgive me in their heart, and I pray to truly forgive others in my heart, because we're all just trying our best, and we all suck a lot of the time. But I think it's just important that we work on it, and we just learn to love people, and learn to love our crappy situations, and learn to just love God in those moments where we really want to cuss him out. And also understand that it's okay to yell at God every now and then, as long as you're willing to bring it to him to let him love you. But thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your time. Can't say it enough. You're loved. You're wanted. You're needed. So thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Uppies. Uppies. Bye-bye.